trade the pre-market using VWAP. So what that means is every time it breaks VWAP to the upside, we go ahead and long that with shares. Every time that breaks VWAP to the downside, we use our short button as long as you have a margin account. If you don't have a margin account, you won't have that option. But you can see right here, we can short it, right? Every time. There's your long, there's your short, there's your long, there's your short. And you can do that for any stock, right? The whole time. Look at this. So as I was doing it this morning, I mean, I made 100 and some bucks on it, but I was just trying to show you guys like, hey, you guys are buying and shorting and buying and shorting. You can do it for anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes, of course, if it hugs, VWAP tightly, it's a little harder. But again, since we're pre-market and we're scalping it quickly, right? There's your long, there's your short, there's your long, there's your short, there's your long, there's your short, and it's still shorting. Do you guys see what I'm saying? I don't know what you guys like to trade, but you can do it for anything, right? So here's Mara, just using a small stock as an example. Look at right there's your short, and you're still in your short. See it? Anything, doesn't matter. There's Microsoft, same drill. Over and over and over, you guys can do this. There's your long, there's your short. It touched, but it's still a short. Now, by using this method, I mean, Ford's a little harder because it kind of, Ford is tough because it doesn't really move. So you can, something like Ford would be very hard. What's this? 21K. Okay, that's not doing nothing yet. Just like Carnival's a little bit harder, but you can do it. You see here, if it doesn't get a lot of volume and you start getting these weird little dots versus candles, that means it's going to be hard to move it, right? There's just not a lot. If you look at the volume, it's only got 286K volume. That's why I like to use a Tesla or an Apple, right? Netflix obviously would be a little bit harder. Number one, the volume is always trash pre-market. Number two, for it to have any significant value, you're going to have to dump a ton of money into it to make it, significant, right? If you can't buy 100 shares or something of it, it's kind of hard to make money from it. But does that make sense? Do you guys see how we can treat the pre-market and you guys can make money from the pre-market? So again, this is what we call, if you're new in here, this is what we call channel trading, okay? We're trading the channel. As long as it continues to give us the same look, we can continue to add here and wait to see if it breaks. If it doesn't, I sell back off. Then I add again here. I wait to see if it breaks, break meaning to the upside. If it pulls back, right, then I sell it off. And then I buy it here, and then I wait to see if it breaks. If it pulls off, I sell it off, so on and so forth.
Yes, it makes
Yes, sir.
sense.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, coach. Are you selling it? At market or limit?
Nope, limit. There is no market. There's no market orders. You cannot do anything that says market in the pre-market, okay?
When you're waiting for it to pop, where do you would you have set your buy at 336?
Well, no. So if I do,
because I missed it. I did 333. I didn't realize I had it set to 333 and I missed it and I didn't chase it.
Well, that's okay. What I do is, because I want to break and hold, I always go above it. So if 336.2 is your key mark, then I would want it, just above it.
So 337.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If that's, that would be the next number it would allow you to do. Yep, it's 337, because what we want is we want it to break and hold. And if it just touches it and pulls back, well, now we're going back this way, right?
Gotcha.
Yep. So we want it to break and hold. And a long candle, break and hold, everybody. Isn't that a long candle or a confirmation candle to go with a small one, right?
Right.
So that is for sure a long candle. And there is your confirmation candle. But now look at it. See it stair stepping. See how this is still stair stepping to the downside? But again, if you're in this now and you're like, well, I've got a small amount, let's see what it will do later, that's fine. But now what you need to do is you need to take our previous resistance level and now it's support. Okay. So what was once resistance is now support, meaning it has to stay above 336.2. Otherwise, it's going right back down into this previous channel that we discussed earlier, okay? And that'll help you guys throughout your entire trading life, by the way. That channel trading that I trained you on right there, and I've been doing it for our existing VIP members. That's something you'll be able to use literally the rest of your life. I use that all day, every day, exactly like you saw how I executed it. So even though that it then pulled back, but I knew this is the bounce zone, I can add in more here, which I did, which lowered my cost average, which then as long as it stayed above VWAP, which it did, I wasn't concerned at all, was I? And there we go. There's your new next pop right there. You're making more money on CCCC. Now, as long as this stays above 346, you guys are going to the next promised land, okay?